I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. I want to use that for something important.
Go fuck yourself. I don't fucking care.
Most of the comic books were developed in the 1930s and 1940s that were making these movies about for kids. And if you look at them, really what the purpose of those were is to give a comfort to the wars that were going on at the time.
Wonder Woman, Captain America, right?
Oh, yeah. And essentially, I see that as being extruded now to adults. So these films that are comic book derived, films that are not necessarily character studies and are more dealing with comforting the American public to feel as though they're a righteous, justified police force in the world. That's essentially what the message, it's generalized, but essentially that's an underlying message of what's going on in our corporate propaganda.
Earlier this month, Cinepolis in Chelsea closed its doors, and Friday, Regal Cinemas announced its Union Square location will be one of 39 theaters closing across the country next month, 8 of them in New York and New Jersey. Nationwide, there are about 100 fewer movie theaters now than there were before the pandemic.
We're very excited to be joining you July 26th. Many of you are very excited, but we should set the table correctly. This film is as paper thin as a sequel to Battlefield Earth. We're mostly going to beat each other senseless, make enemies with Disney, tell a few dick jokes, make a few jokes at my expense, make a lot of jokes at Hugh's expense, and completely sidestep Marvel's mandated after-credit sequence, which if you haven't figured it out yet, is always just a commercial for another movie, which will invariably end with a commercial for another movie. So sit back, relax, let us lower your IQ and raise your heart rate while we travel to a vapid dreamland, a place where grown men and grown women walk around in tights and act like it's not a giant cultural cry for help. This is cinema.
Welcome back to a new article. Hey. Marvel struggles. Cares about the superheroes. Do you? Do you really care about the Captain America?
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick, so...
Marvel released a lot of superheroes characters, and it's just too much. It used to be Superman, and then used to be Spider-Man. That's it. And then it came so many Spider-Man, Superman, Flyman, and it's all bullshit guys dressed in costumes.
It has been a continuous Marvel film this whole time. Like the meme of the astronaut. Uh-oh, hypocrite. Levity is the best medicine. Anything goes. Deadpool and Wolverine may be many things, but it is not good. It can hardly even be classified as a movie. The film begins with DP, as in double penetration, digging up the adamantium corpse of one old man Logan, whose ceremonious send-off movie, Logan, capstoned his legacy with a decent genre riff, and that was that. But of course, sarcasm or not, legacies can be tampered with. No one's ever really gone, but don't worry, this is not Old Man Logan. This is a new Logan, cherry-picked out of the infinite millions that are out there. Gotten a grasp on the stakes yet? This Logan has no tangible mythos beyond some hand-wavy mentions of killing the X-Men in his off-screen universe. This Logan is the iconography. He is a sticker on a backpack. He says bub. He wears the yellow costume. He's Wolverine. Enjoy. You are a fan. Ryan Reynolds is a fan, so the fanhood creates the foundation of the character and nothing more. Whatever gets us to the next special slap of patented Reynolds sass. Holy chocolate fuckcakes, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Yin is retractive, passive, and contractive, while Yang is repelling, absorbing, and expansive. Carcass and tumor. Wade Wilson speaks with Happy Hogan in the hopes of becoming an Avenger, so much so that the rejection costs him a stable relationship with his girl Vanessa, who has spent all 3 movies as a back-burner trophy wife when in actuality, she should be playing Lady Death. Deadpool's true love, they want what they can't have, it's meant to be, it's tragic. Vanessa supported Wade through his cancer diagnosis in any way she could, and they don't even have the courtesy to give her something to do. The TVA are going to wipe his loved ones out of existence, and they are represented as a photograph for just about the entire runtime. Where's Domino and Cable, who were integral to his arc the previous movie? The fact that becoming an Avenger is the utmost priority in the hierarchy of this world, and Disney buying out 20th Century Fox is acknowledged as saving Deadpool from extinction, and paralleled with the TVA as its own actual cosmic force that we have to actively think about in a motion picture narrative sense, it goes to show that the internet and advertising have successfully completed carcinogenic synergy with my favorite art form. Barbie was the tip of the iceberg. It's exaggeration at best to proclaim that film is dead. But Deadpool and Wolverine has me thinking very seriously about it. Within this product and its entropic influence on wider culture, you destroyed, or more optimistically put, attempted to destroy what made me fall in love with movies to begin with. With your power and your money, you have twisted and amalgamated a vulnerable means of expression into a Super Bowl commercial masquerading as something it is not. The same way the first movie is pretending to be a transgressive parody while falling back on the very tropes it aims to mock. Not only did you calculate something this pandering and self-loathing, you did it transparently and laughed. The rich are laughing at the notion that you bought tickets. It's been cute to watch Marvel eat itself alive like an Ouroboros snake, but the older I get, the more patterns of besmirching and insincerity I see, the more sinister this operation becomes. I will never see the amount of money these guys are making off this shit, and perhaps if it will corrupt my creative spirit in doing so, I'm better off poor. Deadpool's the afterlife. Oh, and Saltburn. I laughed at one joke out of 521. Great job. It's hilarious to be gay. Remember Blade? Remember Elektra? Remember Gambit? Which wasn't made? Do you want to watch Laura from Logan bounce around weightlessly like Michael Keaton's Batman in The Flash? Do you enjoy drab, rushed, over-choreographed fight ballet with uncanny CGI patch-ups that defy nature's flawed creation because whatever gets bought by Disney gets put in the void, whereas it once upon a time stood tall as, at the very worst, a joyful experiment? It now floats in the bathtub incongruently with the other action figures that weren't designed to be smashed together? Are these forgotten misfit toys of the CBM world? Or are they cool multiverse cameos? What are you attempting to communicate by including an awful, rubbery facsimile of the old boy hallway scene where Deadpool and Wolverine lay waste to an entire army of Deadpool variants to openly admit that the multiverse shit sucks, and also have these supposed badass cameos? It doesn't matter. Play both sides. Deadpool's queer but also hates the woke mob. Populist filmmaking at its most egregious. Sean Levy is a fucking idiot. My 13-year-old child, I will accompany you and guide you through this R-rated film. That being said, I gotta give you the talk. Has anybody ever said anything to you about brand acquisition? It's hard to let go of your childhood. I understand. I was begging my mom to take me to Deadpool in middle school. I've been there, but that ship has sailed. I spoke nicely about Spider-Man in my review from 2021. Since then, everything is illuminated. None of these cameos or heartstrings or other cheap machinations actually have any practical value in my life anymore. And you know what? It feels good. That's growth. Will I see another Marvel movie? As much as I don't want to, I have youngins in my family. But will I choose to be susceptible? No. Hell's bells ring, and they sound like Ryan Reynolds. It took 20 years for Hugh Jackman to don his iconic cowl, and it took me 20 years to finally put my foot down and recognize that that is devoid of any meaning. Like poetry, it rhymes.
But there's still some will to live.
Let's look after each other. Bye, bye, bye.